Films are beautiful. Since the early days of cinema, people flocked to the cinema to see films on the big screen. With some of the biggest personalities on the planet being involved in filmmaking. But sadly for those that are behind the camera, it's nowhere near the fairy tale they were expecting.
And I've experienced this on set where I was called the least important member of crew because I was a woman.
And also just like sometimes long hours, not sufficient breaks that just culminate in a really mentally and physically exhausting work situation.
And it's less of creative stuff, it's a lot like, right, we need to get a shot done, and it can create like the worst environment on set and like horrible like relationships.
We've heard a lot of stories, even in uni, they kind of prepare you for going into an industry that isn't that fair and isn't that fun.
Just first ADs not treating you with like enough respect, or just, you know, not really treating you with any respect at all. You have just hours where it's like you don't even get fed. You don't, like, they're, oh yeah, we finish at 6, and then you're finished at like 3 in the morning, and that's just normal, and then you're supposed to be back home at 6 in the morning.
I've seen friends and colleagues dropping out, and it's never just because they're like, oh, I've decided to go a different way. It's usually, I can't put up with this anymore. I can't, like, this industry isn't for me. But I think it's not that filmmaking wasn't for them, it's that the industry isn't built to support them.
But things are about to change.
The Film Cult has already started developing a collection of projects to allow you to ignite and develop your film career outside of the film industry.
So I'm Rowan, and I'm a cult member, but we're sort of coordinating the cult as well.
My name's James Fox. In terms of the Film Cult, I'm kind of Rowan's, I've kind of become his de facto business partner in a way, although I suppose business isn't really the line that we're going for.
I've been getting into the professional side of things, and then it got to a point where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And the takeaway there could have been, okay, I need to move on with my life and do something else, but it was actually like, no, I don't think this is the way it should be. Maybe we can make our own system of doing things. And I'm a big believer that if you don't like the way something is, you can go and prove that it can be done another way, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to show that it can be done a different way, and if you can show it can be done, people will follow.
And he started speaking out about this kind of alternative way of doing things. He said, I'd rather go and live in the woods and make films for fun than be exploited in the way that people are being exploited at the moment. And the whole woods aspect kind of made me think, oh, this kind of sounds like a cult is what you want to start. And I think that's kind of where that idea came from.
In summary, it's just about creating a more healthy working environment for people in the film industry. We've all sort of had some negative experiences, and we're using that to sort of to try and change the dynamic of, or the stereotype of what it's like to work in the industry, because I feel like it goes without saying that there's a lot of unhealthy habits, and these are just sort of like, they just get blown over as like the norm. So yeah, our intention is just to sort of change that and to make a better working environment, I would say.
Where we have like equipment we give out, a stress-free environment. In my head I'm picturing just like fun bonfire with friends. You go, you make movies, you have fun.
Goals for the Film Cult are to kind of try and open up the film industry to more people. I'm from a non-film background, graphic design, but with a keen interest in like film and things. So just trying to make sure that opportunity is out there to people that don't have the access to maybe university facilities and things. Trying to open it up a bit more.
Biggest one though, I think, is we want to try and set a new working standard within the industry, and that's a big ask. That is a big challenge. But basically we want to make productions where everybody is included, nobody is unfairly treated, and basically where everybody's having a good time and wants to be having a good time. That's essentially it. And that means implementing standard working hours, breaks, a more cohesive and inclusive way of coming up with ideas, and just making sure, I think the biggest thing about it is making sure people aren't burnt out. that is the biggest thing that comes with it, is this feeling burnout. And you can get that in any job, but for some reason in the film industry it tends to be overlooked more than others. There seems to be a bit more of an acceptance of being burnt out. It feels like you need to be, if you're not burnt out, you don't want it enough. And that's what we're trying to avoid. It doesn't need to be that way at all. You can work 9 to 5 and still make a great film.
The system that's built around films, the film industry, is not conducive of making films. And so we're trying to make a little slice, a little place where people that aren't making films can make films by having less working hours, by being more accessible, by being that place for people who can't make films. And then the goal is, yes, we're going to make films, but we're going to do it in a way where we actually enjoy our lives too, and aren't like on that grind hustle set for the rest of our lives. We don't wake up at like 40 like, wow, I just wasted all my life. And we're really looking for people who share the same values as us and share the same ideals, and people who believe that this can be done, because I think that's how it's going to come into existence, is when people come together and say, yeah, we want to live this way.
My favorite experience working in the film industry so far, and I genuinely mean this, is working with people like this. I'm an incredibly self-conscious individual who's quite shy, and these people have completely brought me out of the shell. So people like Rowan, we've been working on projects for a while now, people like James and stuff, him and me do directing workshops all the time, and it's just being on a set with kind people who, as you know, say, respect you, really help and make it, actually an enjoyable experience.
It was so different from everything else I had experienced, because obviously the whole thing with the film cult is to have this like happy environment where everybody feels comfortable, and that's like the main goal of filming.
I'm really proud to be involved in it. It's such a nice community of people, and to get the opportunity to just like be a part of something that we all genuinely believe in is just really, really nice.
I think it's an amazing thing, and to be so early on into my career, like taking this and utilising it in my own productions, I think it's amazing, and I think more people should be involved.
Watch this space. These guys are doing cool stuff, and Rowan is just like a genuinely lovely guy, and James is, I like him too, he's very cool.
I would just like to say that I think Rowan has put a lot of effort into this, as has James, and as their friends, but also just somebody in the industry, I'm so proud of them, and I think that what they're doing is great, and to be able to be part of this and help makes me happy, because even a small change is a change, and I think that matters.